What if I told you that while most people have been distracted by headlines about trade wars, elections, and political drama, China has been quietly executing a strategy that could fundamentally reshape the global economic order? And here is the critical part. Most people, including many so-called experts, have absolutely no idea that this is even happening. There are no tanks rolling across borders. There are no dramatic emergency summits making the news. What is unfolding is far more subtle, far more patient, and ultimately far more powerful. China is systematically cornering the market on the physical resources that power modern civilization, and the implications for your savings, your investments, the dollar in your wallet, and the entire next decade are staggering. Before going any further, it is important to be clear about something. What you are about to hear is not conspiracy theory, it is not speculation, and it is not fear-driven exaggeration. This is documented strategy backed by billions of dollars in real transactions occurring right now across global commodity markets. Once you see the pattern, it becomes impossible to ignore. By the end of this analysis, you will understand the real game being played while most of the world remains focused on surface-level distractions. China is no longer simply the world's factory. That description became outdated more than 20 years ago. The country has evolved far beyond low-cost manufacturing. What China has become is something far more strategic and far more consequential for Western economic dominance. It is positioning itself to control the supply chains of nearly every critical material required for modern technology. This includes the semiconductors that power computers and phones, the solar panels promoted as the future of energy, the electric vehicles governments are mandating, advanced defense systems, aerospace technology, precision manufacturing, and modern medical devices. All of these industries rely on specific metals and rare materials to function, and China is locking down supply at a pace that should be setting off alarms in every Western capital. The logic behind this strategy is simple. If you control the raw materials, you control manufacturing. If you control manufacturing, you control prices. If you control prices, you control economies. Beijing has understood this for years and has been playing a long game while Western nations focused on quarterly earnings reports and election cycles. This is a coordinated national strategy to secure industrial metals across the entire spectrum. Rhodium for catalytic converters and chemical processing, palladium for electronics and hydrogen technologies, platinum for medical equipment and petroleum refining, rare earth elements critical for magnets in wind turbines, electric motors, and advanced weapon systems, copper for electrical infrastructure, lithium for batteries, cobalt for battery stability and jet engines, nickel for metallurgy and battery cathodes, dozens of other materials most people never think about, but without which modern civilization simply stops functioning. This is not opportunistic buying based on price dips. This is systematic stockpiling by state-owned enterprises supported by government policy and effectively unlimited capital. The scale is difficult to grasp until the numbers are examined closely. Billions of dollars are deployed month after month, year after year, with singular strategic intent. The evidence is visible once you know where to look. Unusual price movements in obscure metal markets. Chinese firms consistently outbidding Western companies for mining rights in Africa and South America. Massive increases in metal imports even when domestic manufacturing output is flat. Strategic reserves that dwarf anything maintained by Western nations. China already controls roughly 70 to 90% of global rare earth processing. This is not mining, but processing. Even when rare earths are mined in other countries, they are often shipped to China because that is where the infrastructure and expertise exist. These materials are essential for smartphones, missile guidance systems, medical imaging, and advanced computing. Control over processing is control over production. China is now extending this dominance across additional metal categories with remarkable consistency. There is another crucial element most observers miss. Every dollar China spends acquiring physical resources is a dollar converted out of United States currency and into tangible assets with intrinsic industrial value. China accumulated enormous dollar reserves over decades of trade surpluses. Now it is systematically converting those reserves into the literal building blocks of future industry. This represents one of the largest wealth transfers in history, occurring quietly while attention is elsewhere. Recent tariff policies have accelerated this trend rather than slowing it. Reduced trade flows mean fewer new dollars entering China through exports. Instead of panicking, Beijing has adapted. It is increasingly trading in renminbi with partners, using existing dollar reserves to acquire resources before further currency debasement, and building alternative financial systems independent of Western control. This is not just economic strategy, it is a shift in the foundation of global power. The United States dollar is already experiencing structural weakness. It has declined sharply against a basket of major currencies, driven not by short-term sentiment, but by changes in global trade behavior and reserve management. Currency traders recognize this shift. Historically, dollar down cycles driven by structural forces last 5 years or longer. This is not a temporary dip, it is a multi-year trend. Silver provides a clear, real-world example of this dynamic. Silver prices have surged dramatically, reflecting a supply shock meeting unprecedented demand. Silver is no longer merely a monetary metal. It is now classified as strategically critical. It is essential for semiconductors, solar panels, defense systems, aerospace, medicine, and electrical infrastructure. Demand is rising faster than supply can respond. China is at the center of this shift. Investors there understand that paper silver markets are heavily leveraged, with far more claims than physical metal available. The rational response has been a rush toward physical ownership. Demand has become so extreme that silver investment vehicles in China trade at massive premiums to underlying metal value. This reflects fear of future scarcity rather than rational pricing, but it also reveals how constrained physical supply has become. Silver is only one example. The same pattern is unfolding across copper, lithium, cobalt, nickel, rare earths, manganese, chromium, tungsten, molybdenum, vanadium, gallium, germanium, and indium. China is securing the physical foundation of industrial civilization. This is not dramatic, it is patient, it is relentless. At the same time, Japan faces its own pressures. Rising interest rates and a weak currency may force it to sell United States Treasury holdings and unwind the yen carry trade that has supported U.S. asset prices for years. This means capital flowing out of dollar assets at the same moment China is converting dollar reserves into physical resources. These forces reinforce each other. Taken together, these developments represent a generational shift in the global financial system. The post-World War II order built on dollar dominance is being challenged not through war, but through strategy. Physical resources are gaining importance relative to paper currencies. Economic power is shifting towards those who control materials rather than financial engineering. For individuals, this means assumptions that worked for decades may no longer apply. Diversification now requires thinking beyond traditional asset categories. It requires understanding that tangible resources and strategic materials may play an increasingly important role in preserving value during prolonged monetary instability. These are not abstract issues. Decisions being made today by governments and investors will echo for decades. This story is not finished. In many ways, it is just beginning.